I'll tell you what, people talking about horror and other things. And I asked Chris Carr off air. I was like, so did you see Weapons yet? She's like, nope. Friends told me that I would not be able to handle it. And so she's not going to see it. So this story will mean nothing to her. But there are talks underway for a Weapons prequel film. And this is starting to, I saw this. And there you go. She's as creepy as you get. Warner Brothers Pictures and New Line Cinema are reportedly already in talks with filmmaker Zach Cregger about making a prequel to the current box office champion Weapons. Hollywood Reporter broke the news indicating the film would explore the origin of Aunt Gladys, the mysterious, one-haired, massive eyeglass-wearing and doused in makeup elderly woman who suddenly arrives in town. I want to be careful. There's no spoilers in here. Weapons is built on a chapter structure, which each chapter focusing on the perspective of different characters that intersect. There are around 6 across the film of various length, focusing on Justine, Archer, Paul, James, Marcus, and finally Alex. The trade sources indicate that Cregger actually had a chapter focused on Gladys and some of her backstory. However, he ultimately pulled that section from the script for length purposes. Now it appears that the lost chapter could have expanded into a full-length story. However, no deals have been made. Currently, there is no timeline for the project. Cregger is presently in pre-production in Prague for his Resident Evil reboot at Sony Pictures. That project is slated to hit cinemas next September. I'll tell you why I don't like this. It has nothing to do with the character. I thought Amy Madigan was excellent in the role, and creepy as hell. That the character was creepy as hell. I thought that it made sense in how they set her up, brought her up, everything about it. What I don't like about it is it's that studio mentality, which understand the way they want to do it, of, oh, this is our hit, this is a hit, just take this director and get him to do as many movies inside of this world that we can get him to get, because it's an IP that we have now. And I understand it. I get it. But I want Cregger to go, no, thanks. I'm good. I did that one. I'm off. I'm going to go, right now I'm 2 for 2. I want to see if I can get Resident Evil back on track and make it like a huge thing, that the game was as big, and basically do what Last of Us did in season 1. That's what I want to do. And then I'm going to make my own new original thing, because everyone's going to be knocking on the door. I don't want to stay in this world right now. Maybe I'll come back to it in 5 years. We'll see. But right now, I'm good. And maybe it's just because I'm such a big fan. I knew nothing about this guy 3 weeks ago. Knew nothing about him. I watched Barbarian. Cool. Yeah, I watched Barbarian. And I said, whoa, this is a special filmmaker, because especially I don't like that kind of stuff normally. But you could tell it was done on a smaller thing, and I got why they got the buzz. And then I saw Weapons, like, oh, this is the guy. This is like the new guy that everybody's going to be just lining up to see his movies. I've been saying this. He's like the R-rated Shyamalan.
Oh, man, I'm so glad to finally talk to you guys about Cash App. I've been using Cash App forever, and now I get to talk to you guys about it. Don't worry. It's very easy, fast to sign up. Do you even know how much interest your money is earning you in your bank account right now? Well, let me tell you some stuff. Cash App can do way more than you think to make your money work for you. If you direct deposit at least $300 in paychecks each month and use the Cash App card for purchases, you can earn up to 4% annual interest on your savings. There's no hidden fees, no minimum balance requirements. Also, you can hit your saving goals even faster by turning on the Roundups feature on your Cash App card. With Roundups, every purchase you make using the card is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and that spare change is automatically put into your savings. Don't let your money sit around and gather dust. Make it work for you. Take advantage of high interest savings on Cash App today. For a limited time only, new Cash App customers can use our exclusive code and earn some additional cash. For real, just download the Cash App, use our exclusive referral code Kristian in your profile, send $5 to a friend. Within 14 days, you're going to get $10 dropped right into your account. Terms apply. That's money. That's Cash App. Cash App is a financial service platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partner. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC, direct deposit, roundups, overdraft coverage, and discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosure.
To me. And I don't want to see him just stay in this world. And look, even Shyamalan, he didn't go back to the Unbreakable world until 10, 15 years later.
Yeah.
So if I'm Cregger's agent, even though the money's right in front of your face, Warner Brothers wants to knock down the doors to do it, we got options. Let's move forward.
Yeah, I like that too. I like that integrity move, because he could just do that. That's an easy paycheck, but that could absolutely diminish the work that he's built up here, especially if there's no real why for the prequel aside from Well, people liked this first one. I love that you knew nothing about him before this, though, because how I know him, since I'm not a horror movie person, is from Whitest Kids You Know, from him doing sketch comedy. And I
Okay.
love that pipeline of sketch comedy folks who then go into horror. And I think it's because they understand formula so well. They understand like arc structures, how to do a comeback to, how to
Right.
set something up and then spike it in a moment. And so I think it's a really interesting trajectory he's been on. And I've seen the little clip in Barbarian too of Justin Long, right? Having like the tape measure out.
Mhm.
I love that he's got these really dark comedic beats to him
Yeah.
too. I'm eventually going to watch these movies. Maybe not Barbarian because that's been completely like beat for beat
Yeah,
spoiled for
I
me.
would say
I don't think that one's for me.
no, I would say the two of them weapons. Yeah,
Yeah. I
for
think
you.
Weapons is one that I would like. And then those moments that you've told me about are just kind of when I'll
Mhm.
do a, is it done?
Right.
But I just don't need to ruin everyone's experience in the theater. But he seems like such a cool and interesting writer
Yeah.
director. And I'm really glad that he's just following his own bliss, and doing what he's excited about. Because when we make stuff just because a studio wants us to, that's like the
Right.
chat pointed it out. That's when you get Joker too.
100%. And I think, well, that's a harder one though. That's a harder one because Joker 2, they wanted, yes, they wanted another sequel because it made money, and absolutely valid to say that. But Todd Phillips also said, well, I'm going to really do something really ridiculous. It's not going to be anything to do with what I ultimately made the first one successful. And then I'm going to throw a new thing in there. But the other thing I'm going to do, guys, is we made that movie for nothing. I'm going to make this one for 3 times that budget.
So much money.
So much money, and put a musical aspect to it, and not Todd Phillips is as much, if not the major factor of why that movie. And I like Todd Phillips, but he was the reason that failed, not because they wanted to do a sequel. It came up of like, okay, we made money. Should we just left it well enough alone? And maybe the answer is yes to that.
Well,
But
I think that's the case with his other films too. Hangover, let it be Hangover 1. Leave
Right.
that alone. That's fine.
Right.
Hangover
Right.
2 was okay. Hangover 3, ugh.
It certainly happens all the time. Like, yeah, right. Like
Yeah.
it's like leave it alone. But there's the carrot. It's right
Yep.
there.
I mean, we were just talking about Pirates.
100%. But you understand what the studios want to do it. Now the question
Yeah.
also for Craigers is that this is another reason why I could go back and say, look, I'm so glad that he went back and he did that. I'm so glad that he did, because as they say in the article, he had a story. He knows her backstory. Now, can you stretch that 10 or 15 minutes into 2 hours? And I would assume you would cast a younger version of her, and you would do that. But I don't know. We'll see.
For you, is the unknown scarier? When you don't have someone's backstory, is that more enticing to you, or do you watch something go, gosh, I want to know more about her?
It's a case by case.
Okay.
Yeah, it's case by case. Sometimes like, oh, I don't think I need to know anything about that person now. That person, the mystery is kind of gone from what I liked about them. And there's other times going, oh, that was so intriguing. Now I get why that person ticks.
Okay.
So yeah, just case by case. To you?
Sure. Usually I kind of like the tell me less. Tell me less, and don't tell me everything. Kind of with some of the idea of like the Disney villain movies of I really don't need to know why they're like this. I just kind of want to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's all Maleficent for me.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Weapons. Should it get a prequel? Should it? Or should he move on to something else? Or just depends? What's your thoughts on it? Let us know.